Hello, this is Sharon, voice of a moderate. A person that worked for Colin Powell told me the country needed something to unite them. Maybe the thing that unites our country from about 3-4 years of an ugly election, ugly 2006 campaign, and ugly rhetoric that has divided families into two. Maybe this pandemic can have some good. It's scary, but we're going to make it, we're going to fight it, and we're going to win because we're Americans. Our government is doing a great job. We have to listen to them. I've stocked up on things that I can, little short on hand sanitizer. Whoever took hundreds and hundreds and thousands of bottles of hand sanitizer, that dude from Tennessee that finally donated it to charity because the feds got involved, that dude should go to jail. Well, a sanitized jail. Because you know what? Hoarding is wrong. It's totally wrong. I have 5 rentals. You need rubber gloves when you go to the public laundry to take your garbage out. I only bought 3 boxes because I'm giving them to my tenants. I only bought limited supplies of elderberry, had to buy child's portions, so I have to use double. I bought 3 bottles of this air for my nose to keep my nose moist. I have 1 mask, and that is so when I fly back to my home in Florida, which I hope to go to after the cluster that they found that is going to be exposed this week, is the people get a little bit healthier because they had a lot of Europeans travel. We need to understand that as a country, we need to stock up with what we need. We can't stock up because of fear and deny others. I went to the grocery store last night. I wanted chicken. I don't eat pork because I went swimming with the pigs in the Bahamas and I fell in love with Dahlia. Dahlia was a great big fat swine, almost 1,000 pounds. She could barely swim, but I waded in the waters in the Bahamas with Dahlia, and I just haven't been able to eat bacon since. And now I just saw a movie about a cow, and now I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can eat beef. I've not seen any movie about Chicken Little. That said, I'm starting to think about what I can do to make my relationships with people I'm estranged with better. Let me tell you, I'm an advocate. I fight for fairness. I'm out there on that hill when you look at DC, right? I'm out there in the Capitol screaming at people. Well, those people that I'm screaming at, as soon as it's safe to go back to the Capitol, I'm going to bring information about how we can unite. And how we can unite is respecting each other, working together, bipartisan efforts. And I'm now thinking about me and how I can make me better and how I can restore relationships, like even with my ex-husband. I mean, I actually tweeted about him and I was mad. And I deleted those very justified tweets because they were public. And you know what? I know they made him uncomfortable. And so I did it to show him. We were married 19 years when he asked me for divorce. And I want him to know that he's always part of my life. He's part of what I hope is only 25% of my life. And I hope he lives a long life and a happy life. I messaged my daughter who lives far away from me, over 1,000 miles. And I told her I loved her. I sent her like $10 so she could buy a treat if anything is open near her, just to know that her mom cares. I've reached out to people that, I got mad at because politically they didn't side with me, or they worked for the war toy industry. And, I was helping part of a group connected to Colin Powell try to expose people that were doing war profiting. And I got really mean to a friend that works at Lockheed Martin. I'm working on an apology to him. It's actually not an apology. You know what it is? It's like, you know what? we have to fight together. We have to work together. Because right now we're fighting. We're fighting for America. Plus, you know what? The war toy people, sorry, but we're not going to be able to do all these wars because we got to spend a shit ton of money on this pandemic. We're going into a recession. And you know what? It's going to be a lot better to survive the pandemic, the recession, and to dig out of that recession faster if we're united as a country. I'm a libertarian, but I'm all in at supporting people who are not going to be getting paid because of this pandemic. I know that some people know that I know how this pandemic started, and I did some tweets from people at the Army that wanted me to tweet because they were falsely accused of creating the coronavirus. And I'm a little miffed at China, but I do know that China makes supplies that America needs. And some intel friends said, you know what, as mad as we are at China, we need China. Do you know how stressful that is for our diplomatic corps? Oh, let me tell you, I have issues with our diplomatic corps. And you know what? I'm setting my issues with them aside, and I am going to, if they reach out to me like they've done in the past, if you look at some of my past work, you'll know that I've been a conduit to help people say things when an agency doesn't want to publicly say it. I will go to forums, conferences, and I will raise my hand. I'll say, Sharon Bovat, voice of a moderate. You know, some of our allies like Saudi, they've done things not in our best interest. And and so then what happens is after I asked that at like New America, at a thing about ISIS, and then they were able to have talks backstage because I asked the question. And I know I annoyed Saudi about that, and I'm not sorry, but you know what? I now know that we need Saudi to work with us because they're an ally. And I am going to step aside from being that person unless, of course, I'm asked. But right now, people right now are saying that we need to unite. And the thing that I need to ask is, excuse me, Nancy Pelosi, excuse me, can we just all get along? Okay? Let's not have any more press conferences that were as ridiculous as the Kavanaugh yearbook, that were ridiculous about issues that didn't matter to America. America wants affordable health care. I don't know if one single payer is the right way, but it could be. Maybe we need single payer, just like a basic care, and then have people be able to afford to pay for insurance that let them keep their doctors. Okay, because let me tell you, my Obamacare exchange premium that I took an association plan in lieu of, it wasn't going to let me keep my doctors. And last year I was like out of pocket over $20,000 for healthcare. Yeah, me. I mean, it was like a third of my income. And you know what? I couldn't pay like a decent amount of federal taxes because I had to pay so much money in healthcare. And you know what? I hate to say it. The government kind of knows that if they don't get it one way, they're going to get it the other. And I shouldn't have to spend so much money for healthcare, you know, just doing testing and getting gouged by test. I mean, LabCorp, that's now helping with coronavirus, they charged me like $890 after they charged my insurance for some other testing. And then I found out that I could have gone on the internet and got those same tests for less than $150 by myself. I didn't even need a doctor. I would have done to an online facility. They would have had a doctor rubber stamp the order, and I would have had the test for $150. So, you know what? There are ways that we can do things so much cheaper in America. And we can talk about those in 6 months. But for the next 6 months, we need to, actually, it's going to be about if everybody cooperates and they do the social distancing, they hang out with people that they know have not done anything reckless, like take a cruise. Oh my God, yeah, if you're taking a cruise, you shouldn't see people for 14 days. If you've been to Disney World, you should not see people for 14 days. If you've been on a form of public transit, you should probably wait about a week. You know what? It's scary. Just think about where you've been. Think about the people in your life that are over 65. Think about how great America is going to be when we conquer this. China conquered, well, kind of conquered it, but they were able to close down their temporary hospitals in less than 3 months. Italy still has a massive problem because, those Italians, they love to kiss, they love to touch, and now their problem's going to last about 6 months. So I think America, I'm not saying what China did was right, because I'm a little miffed at China. We won't go into that. But let's just say social distancing works. Be with friends that you know have made an effort. And just know that America, not only are we going to get through this, we are going to be a friendlier, more compassionate, more loving country. God bless you all. I will talk to you later. If you have anybody in your life that at one time you truly loved and you had a fight, just, even if you know you were right, like I know I was right, let them know that, you know what, let's move on. You might not become friends, but you can feel better knowing that you're trying to make things right. Everybody, we're going to get through this, and have a great day.